Welcome, everybody, to the Trace Amigos Talk Show. I am Santa Tom, where I am joined every week by my good friends, Dino Propos, the Tactical Santa, and our fearless leader, the Bearded Chief, Steve Banos. Guys, it's so good to be here tonight. I am so excited about our guest tonight. We will get into that in just a moment. But, guys, tell us where you're from in the chat. Tell us what you're wearing in beard or on skin today. We are so thankful and appreciative that you guys have took time out of your busy Thursday night to join us. Guys, I'm excited about tonight. What do you guys think? What have you guys been up to? Dino, how's your week been?
My week's been doing good, Santa Tom. I got the haircut last Sunday. Had some CPO classes, had some classes going on the weekend, so I didn't get any extra holes in me, no blood coming out. I'm good. But it's been a hot week. It has been hot here in Michigan. Yeah, it's been a scorcher. I feel bad for anybody who's had to work outside. I luckily get to work in an air-conditioned store, but everything's been going good, and I am so excited because Worlds is next week, and I'll be hooking up with my amigo, and we'll be going. Wishing that you were going with us, Santa Tom.
Hey, I'll be there. Maybe Chief can give me one of his live video calls while you guys are there.
Yeah, right?
Chief, how you doing, boss man?
Man, we're waiting for this baby. Jeez. The due date's the 29th, but she's like, in a lot of pain and barely moving. And I feel so bad for her. And it's like 1,000 degrees outside. So she's in the AC. And poor kid, I tell you what. But we're excited, man. Little Camden coming in, man. And I'm going to get him a little fake beard. And, it's going to be good. And I'm going to raise a little Spartan. And, but hey, good week. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of outdoor stuff that I don't want to do, cutting grass, weed eating, things like that. But, I work the next 3 days, supposed to rain, so I got to get it done. So,
yeah, I hear you. And, man, I just wish you all the luck in the world with your new grandbaby coming up. I have a daughter that's pregnant as well, and her actual due date, which I know it's like winning the lottery, her actual due date is my birthday. So I told her she'd make my year if that happened, but we know the chances of that happening. But guys, before I get of what's coming up tonight, let's talk about, and before we do get started, I do want to wish a very early happy birthday, and everybody wish him a happy birthday to the Tactical Santa, who will be 24 tomorrow. So 24. You guys, make sure you wish him happy birthday, and I have something special for him tomorrow. So just tune in for that. I hope you guys can check that out. But guys, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll say hello to everybody, and then talk about what's coming up tonight. We have Mr. L. Pud himself first. Hey, what's going on, Pud, my fellow Texas brother? And I did pin a comment, guys. You can get on the guest BTH grooming on the Epsi website. Amigos 20 during the show will save you 20% on the products. I've already been scanning it over, and I've already got my order ready to go. And there's Mr. Baker, hey, brother, Mr. John Fox.
Hey, John.
Oh, Jeff Harmon.
Mr. Harmon.
Mr. Dappa.
That's right.
What's going on, Santa Allen? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here. Santa Allen's putting out some great videos. You guys need to go check them out if you haven't done so already. Great stuff. All right. And there's Mr. Phil. Bearded on a budget. How's it going, brother? And Miss Black Manor herself. How you doing? Hey, it's good to see you. Jordan, thanks for coming in, brother. Good to see you, man. Mr. John Covington, how you doing, brother?
Hello.
You didn't forget. Yeah. Appreciate you. Hey, there's Chad. I think we'll see him in just a minute. Mr. 30 Spray J.
Hey.
All right, guys. Born Bearded. What's going on, Dave? How you doing? Hey. I think Dave's going to be, you guys going to see him in Worlds here next week.
Yes, we are.
I'm just a little jealous. I'm not 100% jealous. I'm just a little jealous.
Warn you, I'm a hugger. Come on, bring it in.
Hey, babysitter Jess, how you doing?
Hi, Jess.
Yeah, there's Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Copper John, Melissa, how you doing? I'll be talking about you. Be talking about you here in just a minute. And there's let's see here. Here's half, and here's the better half. Of course. Garrett, how you doing, bro? It's good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Okay, well, there's freaking Frack. We can go ahead and get started. Guys, we'll be talking about Bob and Terry here in just a minute as well. Frankie, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. All right. Kay, Miss Kay, how you doing? Can I just do it now? Guys, I got my cup in. I'm so proud of this thing. Kay, it came in yesterday. It is absolutely beautiful. I feel like every time now that Chief and Dino take a sip, I've got something to hang in there with them. Absolutely beautiful. And we'll talk about this as well. Thank you so much, Kay. All right, guys. I think Mr. Preston, how you doing, brother?
Hello.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you always commenting and your support. All right, guys. Please help me if I miss anybody. I don't want to miss anybody. I think, though, I think everybody's just saying hello. Guys, make sure you tune in directly after the show tonight to the Real Housewives of Bearded Men. Melissa will have Amber, Miss Kay, and I believe it's Tina.
Yep.
Miss Tina, okay. So it's kind of a review show. So just make sure you guys tune in to check right after this show. Check out Melissa and help support her as well. We fully 100% support Melissa. What's that, Chief?
That's going to be so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then right after that, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure you tune in to The Bearded Respect and check out Bob and Terry with special guest Baker. All right. So you guys make sure you check that out as well. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if Mike's made it in the chat yet, but I've just got one thing to say. We got Bob and Terry first. Number one, baby. I told Bob, I said, if you could just slip that in there somewhere, we'd really appreciate that. No, you are very welcome, Melissa. Thank you for being who you are. We appreciate you so much. And I appreciate the relationship you and your husband have, and that you guys are always encouraging and lifting each other up and bragging on each other. That means a lot. And you know what? I'm so thankful that your kids are being raised to see that. And guys, you know what else I'm thankful for? I am thankful for our next guest, guys. Do you guys have anything else before we bring them on? Well, I say we go ahead and welcome Mr. Chad, owner of Beards, Heads, and Threads. Chad, how you doing, sir?
What's up, Chad?
Doing well. What's going on, guys?
What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. I'm looking at the screen here, and it's kind of got a delay. So I was like, hopefully this time I show up, because last time on the Bearded Respect, man, every time when it comes to technology, my mic just goes out or my camera goes out. I'm telling you, you can have it all ready, and then live comes to be, and man, it's like can't find Chad anywhere.
Trust us, we know. We know all about that stuff.
Chad, I was on the Bearded Respect like a year and a half ago, and they had to reschedule me because my internet was so bad. It was horrible. So I had to fix that pretty darn quick. And I live out in the country. So
I thought you were going to say you didn't pay the bill.
Oh, no, I always pay the bills, man. Always pay them bills. But yeah. So hey, welcome to the show. I'm a big fan of yours. I watch all your shows, and I'm really proud of you, man. You're one of our peers that stepped up, and you're going to sell beard products. So bravo, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, hey, me and Dino like to soften you up as we do with all the guests with some this or that questions. Okay. And Dino, my friend, why don't you go first tonight?
Alrighty. So, Jordans with a tux or cowboy boots with shorts?
Oh, Jordans with the tux for sure.
Yeah. Got it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like cowboy boots, but not with shorts.
Right.
No, not at all. Mine are kind of just cool weather related. So, real easy this or that. So nothing extravagant. Bomb pop or slushy?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
I know.
That's a hard one because I grew up eating bomb pops,
Yep.
loved them. I even being older, but we like to go to Sonic and get a lot of slushies sometimes too. And I
Yeah.
like the cherry slushies with the nerds in it,
Nerds.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the slushy.
Yeah, because you can enjoy it a little longer, I think, right? 'Cause
Yes.
yeah, I'm
Yes.
just going to
Sure.
chew that bomb pop and it's going to be gone in like 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Alrighty. Beard smelling like bourbon or beard smelling like bubblegum?
Bourbon for sure.
Hmm.
I know. Hey, listen, Chief is a gourmandy foodie guy. Him and I are different. That's where we differentiate. I love some gourmandy fragrances, but if it was to be a tobacco or an alcoholic type of scent in my beard, I would rather have that than a food. That's just me.
Bourbon or cognac?
Probably, man, that's a tough one because there's so many good ones out there. Oh my goodness. Both. No,
Ah, right on. Screw it.
Right.
I put two oils in together.
Yeah, why not?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I like them both. I like bourbon scented ones, and I like, cognac. So, man, that's a tough one. I'd probably, at the end of the day, probably go bourbon, but I could do either. Either
Okay.
or.
All right. This one's for kind of like you in the backyard with the kids when it's hot. Water balloon fight or super soaker?
Water balloon for sure,
Yeah.
because we like to hit each other.
Sure. Sure. A little violence never
It's
hurt
fun,
anybody.
when you hit them, and it's like, wow, that was a little too hard. My kids like to have a good time and hit each other with balls and stuff, playing around.
Yeah.
They're at that stage, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Only wear Dixon flannels forever or only wear tactical Santa merch forever?
I'm sorry, man. That's a hard one. I definitely have to go with Dixon. Just because who wouldn't want a Dixon? Right? They're just expensive.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I might go with tactical Santa.
Of course, I've never seen your clothes, so I mean.
Right. Soon to be released. Soon to
Nice.
be soon,
I'll have
yeah.
to check that out.
Yep.
Okay. Me?
Mhm.
Cool evening motorcycle ride or Jeep with the top off?
Mm,
Ooh.
man, that's a tough one too. I would go with the motorcycle ride.
100%.
Yeah.
Solid choice.
My kids would say, "Let's go in the Jeep with the top down," but I definitely, if it was just me, I would go with the motorcycle ride for sure.
Been on her all day today. Down the road, baby.
Nice.
Had a good time.
Alrighty. You win $1 million, but you can only use it on beard products and hats. What are you stocking up on?
Man,
That's a lot.
man, that's a tough one too, man. You said hats too, though,
Yep.
and it doesn't have to be beard companies.
Nope. Beard products and hats. Anything you want.
Man, that's a tough one. But you guys said you weren't going to ask tough questions tonight. What happened to that? Well, my goodness. I like hats. I like a lot of hats. It's hard to narrow down to one company's hat, though. It's hard to narrow down to one
Right.
company hat when it comes to, or beard products, when it
Right.
comes to beard products. I mean, man, that's a tough one.
You can stock up on everybody and everybody's hats. So I'm assuming you probably like New Era and some Boston Scally stuff. And
Here's the truth about that. I've always thought about getting a Boston Scally and always wanted one, but I never had one. I told my wife, should I get a Boston Scally? And she's like, I don't know. And so one of these days, I might get a Boston Scally and rock it.
right.
But the interest is there. The interest is there. Look at the pink one. Nice. That's nice, man.
Right.
For sure.
What about like a sombrero and you fill it with like nacho cheese, and you could just like dip your chip?
That's a good one.
I would do that if I had a bunch of hats.
Just don't get any chips on your shoulder.
I got $1 million. I don't care. I'm gonna just gonna
Right.
chip and eat. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
on my motorcycle riding down the road.
They've got the backpacks that give you the water that you can just suck all day long.
Yeah.
You just do that and I suck it at the same time.
Now, just remember, Steve, because I'm shorter than you at Worlds, you're not putting a sombrero hat on me and putting dip on and doing chips.
My goodness, isn't that a good idea for a short though?
Dude, that is a good one. You can be his little table, you know?
Okay. We beat that horse to death. Pool or lake?
Probably a pool. Well, I don't know. It depends on what lake it is. The lakes around here are pretty terrible. There's a, you know, we've had a lot of junk around our lakes. There are some places that have really nice lakes. Now, if I was actually out on a boat, I would go lake for sure. I definitely would. I'd go, you know, jet skiing and, you know, all that stuff. But here around where I live, man, there's not a lot of good lakes. I mean, they're kind of dirty, you know.
Gotcha.
Right.
So I would probably have to say pool, but
Right.
if I was somewhere, you know, where they had nice lakes, Michigan or what is it, Minnesota, they've got thousands of lakes there and ponds.
Right.
It'd be a different story, but.
Well, we got a beach at this lake, and they've got all these big inflatable things for the kids to climb on and slide down and jump off of. And it's just like a village of all these inflatables out there, and the kids just love it. So we go out there and, you know, I'll have a couple cervezas on the beach and let the grandkids just go and, you know, burn up that energy.
Right.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. The government passes a law that every man must either wear skinny jeans or shave their beard. What are you doing?
Ooh,
that is so wrong.
Wrong.
You're going to make me look weird in those skinny jeans.
You look better than me, brother.
I'm not cutting the beard, man. No way. That's just wrong.
What about you, Chief?
It's skinny all day, man. I just have to walk like, you know, all stiff-legged.
Right.
Oh, cranky. Yeah, man, I ain't cutting that off. Sorry. Okay, you mentioned jet ski. My next question is jet ski or tube down a lazy river?
Jet ski for sure.
Man, there's this place up by Hocking Hills. It's like 7 hours, and you get the inflatable, and you could tow your cooler for your, you know, hydration, and they pick you up after 7 hours and bring you back to your car.
Oh, wow.
I
That
think,
would be fun.
yeah, hell yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like the adrenaline on a jet ski. If you have open water,
Yeah.
man, so much fun.
Oh, they are fun.
But I do like the lazy river. I do like to be on a river just with in fact, we just went tubing in Tahlequah, Oklahoma a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah, I think that would be great because, you know, I don't have to expend any energy, and I could drink a cold Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Alrighty. You get offered your dream sponsorship, but they want you to dye your beard hot pink and call yourself Bubblegum Chad for a year. Are you doing it?
Depends on how much money it is. No, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it. You know, if they want you to do that, then it's probably not the right partnership to get into.
Right.
At least for me.
Right. I would have to agree. I couldn't dye it hot pink and be called Bubblegum Sam.
Right. Yeah, if they want me to do that, what's next?
Sign me up. Screw it. I'm in.
You know what I mean? That's funny.
Well, I'm out. That's it.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Nice and easy.
That was easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, thanks for taking it easy on me, guys.
Sure.
You guys are just too nice.
Right? Man. So, what was the inspiration to go from what we do as reviewers and hosts of live shows to I'm going to get my hands dirty and I'm going to make product and sell it. What was that transition like?
Well, I've always been like entrepreneurial when it comes to the I can't even talk tonight. Entrepreneurial mindset. I like to create. There's a lot of great stuff out there, a lot of great products. And just knowing that if you're going to do something that you enjoy and you love. And this is something that I enjoy. I love. It's a passion. So why not try to make my own shot at it, take my own stab at it, see what I can come up with. Um, now, I'm in the mindset of I don't want to be competitive, but I mean, obviously there is some competitiveness when it comes to business, but find my own spot, you know what I mean? Where I'm not just like everybody else, something unique, different. I think the whole, head stuff makes me a little bit more unique when it comes to not just beard care, but head care, head shaving stuff, because there's a lot of bald guys out there that have beards. There's a lot of bearded guys out there that have a lot of hair, and it's just, but there's a certain niche of people that have both. It's just something that I'm passionate about. And I thought, as much as I love to create videos and try to help people and give good reviews or at least honest reviews, I'd like to do something a little bit different, kind of push myself, stretch myself a little bit. I've been doing this for the last 2-3 years and just kind of wanting to venture into something different, something that I love to do and try to make who knows, maybe make a legacy for my kids one of these days. Who knows? I don't know. My son said the other day, he said, Dad, when I get older, I'm going to review beard products.
Really?
Yeah, what do you think about me reviewing fragrances right now? I'm like, dude, if that's what you want to do, then fine. But my daughter, she wants to get into her own business and she's only 13. So, I mean, they want to start making stuff and making something for themselves. And at that age, I think it's great, because I've heard it before said, you're only free if you own your own paycheck. And it's true. I mean, because you just never know. Tomorrow could be your last day at work, and so you can, trust in somebody else to continue to supply what you need, or you can try to do it yourself. And so, I mean, I'm all about small batch businesses and business and trying to bring something to the table and, have a great customer service. I think that a lot of companies may have great products, but they have terrible customer service. But there's a lot of great companies out there, especially the ones that we know, at least in the bearded industry, that have great customer service, And so if you have the great customer service, you have, a good product, I think there's good stuff ahead, because that's what separates a lot of people is just their customer service, having a solid product. And so, but that's kind of what I thought about this for a long time. And, I thought, I want to do this and try to get a job and doors close. And you're like, okay, so I guess this is the perfect time to do it. If I'm going to do it, this is the time to do it. Go all in. I got my wife's support behind me. I got several people in the community behind me. And so we'll see where it goes. We'll see. Still early, but we'll see.
I think that's great that your kids look up to you and they want to be little entrepreneurs also. And I think that's great, man. And just mentoring them into that's wonderful. Even at a young age like that, even if they can get started with, a YouTube channel or anything like that, highly encourage them. I love it.
Right.
Thank you.
So kind of tagging off Chief, what he asked, what got you into doing the bearded reviews and doing what you do? How did that come apart? How did that come to fruition?
Well, so I started out YouTube doing like guitar lessons. I thought, I'm getting everybody asking me, you give me a guitar lesson? Can you give me a guitar lesson? And when you give so many guitar lessons, it takes up too much of your time. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to try this YouTube deal. I'm going to try to do one lesson for thousands of people instead of thousands of lessons for one person and try to leverage my time. And so I started doing that. And then I got on Manjaro because I'm a type 2 diabetic. I was 300 pounds one time in my life, and
Yeah.
A1C was through the roof and could never get it fixed, could never figure it out. I did ketogenic diet. And I've always worked out for a long time. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy. I was really, really big back in the day. And so I got on Manjaro and I lost my A1C dropped like crazy and I started losing some weight. And I wasn't so worried about losing weight, but my A1C actually had dropped. So I started talking about it.
Right.
I'm going to get online. I'm going to talk about this stuff, and go figure. It was a time where Manjaro was trending. It just came out, and I was like 2 weeks into it coming to the States, and my channel exploded. I went to 1,000, and it wasn't too long. I was monetized, and so I was doing that, and then I started with Live Bearded. I started seeing their stuff, and I got on Live Bearded stuff and loved it, and started looking up beard reviews. And you know how that is. You start getting the beard reviews, looking up stuff. It's a rabbit hole that goes deep, and it still to this day goes deep, and it's like you just can't ever get satisfied. It's always the next thing. You're always wanting to try. Kind of like fragrances for me. For years, for the last probably 15, 20 years of my life, fragrances. But now it's more beard care stuff because I get the fragrances in the beard care together. And so I started doing that, seeing Dan see a lot of his videos, a lot of other people's videos. Started doing my own videos. I think my first review was actually my top 5, 2023. And it was just, I think it was Artius Man and Beard Octane, all these bigger companies that, aren't so much, I would say they're small batch, but they're not small batch compared to like micro small batch that we deal with.
Right.
And so the farther I went into it, the farther I started discovering new companies, doing their reviews and stuff. And it just became something that I really loved to do. And then it got to the point where I was doing Manjaro stuff. I was doing that, had people shooting stuff to me to do reviews. And my whole channel became just like I don't know what it was. It was like everything together. And then I had to make a decision. And I know I talked to Tom beginning of last year, maybe, Tom. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but we talked. And I'm like, should I change my name? Should I rebrand it? Should I separate the Manjaro stuff? And I'm glad I did, because it was something that I needed to do. And it was a launching point for me, because had I've known back in like November that BHT grooming would come from BHT, I never would have imagined, and so beards, heads, and threads, that's what I talk about the most. And that is what I named the channel. And so that's kind of how I came about, doing reviews and kind of, where, my early days starting out. So.
Right.
Good deal. What tell us, I know that you are a very strong family man. You believe very strongly in your faith. So talk to us about how that is important to you, how important your family, your faith, and all that is, and how you integrated that into your business and your integrity and all of that. Just let everybody know out there what your family and all that means to you.
Yeah, so my family means everything to me. My kids, we're all in ministry. My wife and I'm a young adults pastor between 18, 29-year-olds that are single. Was a youth pastor years ago. I preach sometimes. I preached last night at the church. I used to go to jails and preach. I do music. I write music. I'm a CCM artist. I've done a lot of music. I do have another show or another channel called Growing in Grace 28. Very active over there, probably way more active than I am on this channel, because it's a ministry channel. And so my kids, they're musical just like my wife and I. My wife does music with me. She has her own YouTube channel. Every one of my kids in my house has a YouTube channel. And so
Wow.
they all, they're not, my son's not as active, and my oldest daughter's not as active as my youngest daughter. But it's just, one of these things, I mean, I used to be an addict in life and searching for stuff, and came up empty all the time, and had a radical change in my life with God. And And that was several years ago. I'm talking about probably 2 decades ago, and just been doing that ever since. And so, I tell people all the time, what you see on reviews, what you see behind the camera is as authentic as you get. I mean, I screw up all the time, but hopefully through my life, how I respond and how I talk, you can see that I live out what I believe. And here's the thing, you can say what you believe, but you'll live what you believe. You can say what you believe all day long, but you'll live what you believe. And so many people do this, but they don't do the living behind it. And so
Right.
actions are so much greater than words. And so now I know, ministry and God is not for everybody. A lot of people aren't into stuff like that. But that's their choice. My choice is that's my firm beliefs. And, I choose not to like cuss and stuff. Some people do. It's fine. That's what they want to do. But it's just how I am. There's just certain convictions that you have.
Sure.
And so you have to live by your convictions. If you don't, then if you can't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, And so that's kind of who I am. And that's, that's kind of behind my business too. I don't go around and, put like verses and stuff on my website. Not that I wouldn't, but I just don't have to do that because, I mean, people should know through who I am, what kind of business it is. I mean, there should be integrity in any business if you want to have a successful business.
Right.
You should have character, and who would trust a company that doesn't have character? I'm just saying.
Right.
100%.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think it's very well said, Chad. One of the things I used to tell my kids all the time is, a person's going to be like a tube of toothpaste, right? About the easiest thing I could describe. You put a little pressure on them, a little squeeze, just like you said, whatever's inside is going to come out.
That's right.
Right. So, living your life, there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think anybody owes anybody an apology for how they live, what they believe. We all have our own beliefs, our own, our thoughts on things. But,
right.
If a person believes strongly in what they are and who they are, hey, as long as they live by it and they stand by it, there's nothing wrong anybody can say. Let me ask you this. So I believe you are in Kansas.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yep.
So right there, smack in the middle of the country, right? Just to kind of, they call it, I guess the politicians call it flyover country,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
How do you get a chance to get out? Do you guys get a chance to get out and go do anything? I don't know, you're kind of in the middle, so you're kind of close to somebody, but it's just a long way away from everything. I mean, going to Disney World's not a hop, skip, and a jump. It's
Right.
It's a little drive, And
So we do. We, in fact, this summer, my wife and I are actually for the first time going with my kids to youth camp this year. So we're going to be there for the week. My wife's playing music. But that's not necessarily a vacation. That's more of a ministry thing. But we are going to Kansas City in July next month after that. And then in August, we're going to Panama City Beach, Florida, where we're going to spend a week.
Nice.
And then we're going to go to Branson in October, which we like to go to Branson, Missouri.
Right.
I know, some people will say, well, that's for like old people. It's actually fun. It's actually fun. We make it fun for the kids. Go to Silver Dollar City there. But, we've been down a few cruises down there. We go down there to Corpus. What is it? What's that place down in Texas? Is it Corpus Christi? It's not Corpus Christi.
Galveston,
yeah. Where we went on a few cruises. But the furthest I've been in 42 years, gonna be kind of funny. The furthest I've ever been west is Colorado. That's the furthest, and so we want to go farther. I don't know so much if I want to go to California as much as I used to. I mean, there's too much craziness going on there.
Right.
But it'd be interesting just to kind of to go there. What's going on, True North, Chris? It'd be kind of cool just to go there to check it out. I wouldn't live there, but there's several places. I've never been to New York. In fact, the farthest northeast that I've ever been, my kids I guess my son and my wife has ever been is Chicago. So, or Minnesota, I guess I should say. So I'd like to travel more, but yeah, those are some places that we've been. Obviously, Oklahoma. I mean, that's just like a hop and a skip right down below us. Um, but yeah, those are some places we've been to. Tennessee, we've been to Arkansas. Um, obviously, when we went to Panama City Beach, Florida years ago, we went through Alabama, and but those, I mean, those are some basic places we've been. There's a lot of places that we still need to travel to. But I've worked a five. Here's the deal. I've worked a 5-day job almost all my life since my kid's been born, and it wasn't until July last year where I've had freedom. You know what I mean? And here's the deal. You got all the freedom in the world but no money on this side, and you got all the money in the world but no freedom. So where do you find the balance? Where do you find like a key turn system where you can leverage your time and make money at the same time?
Right.
And you got to find that. I mean, my deal is the more and more as older I get, I just need to take the vacations. I need to make the memories with the kids. Why? Because the kids aren't going to be here forever. You know, and if I would have went back 5-10 years ago, I'd have been like, you know what, you just need to make the crucial decisions to decide what's more important. Is it a long career that you may not even be in? Because I mean, to be honest with you, most of us don't even know exactly if we're going to stay in our same career forever. You know, but what matters is your family is going to always be there, and so you want to make sure that you invest in the things that matter the most. And so we're going to take those trips. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make those memories, you know, because you can't get them back.
Right.
Right.
So, Chad, other than ministry, guitar lessons, YouTube, things we know about you, what do you do as a hobby or something you're passionate about that we don't know about?
So you guys probably know I play guitar, but
Yep.
what you probably don't know is I love to play ping pong. I love to play pickleball with my kids, with friends. I love golfing. I don't golf as much as I'd like to. Um, you know, we like to go for walks. I know that probably sounds pretty boring to a lot of people, but we
No.
actually, I find it relaxing to be able to go for a walk with my German Shepherd, with my family. My son just got a mini bike. It's kind of funny getting on that mini bike, looking like a fool driving down the road, riding down the road as a 220-pound guy on a little mini bike.
I love it.
But you know what? We got that mini bike for him. We took him down the street. We don't live in the country. We're the city. IEB Reacts. He's actually in the chat right here. Is my son. But we took him to the park with that thing. This day he got it, and some guy down the street at the park was sitting in his truck and waited there, called the police on us, got the police
Of
out
course.
there on us, and people just hate it when people have fun.
Yeah.
They just get so jealous. So I told my son, well, I guess we'll just take it to the church parking lot and drive it around in the parking lot because it's private property. So, but of course, my brother-in-law is the pastor at the church, you know, and so it's pretty low key there. So, but it's just sad how you know, you try to have fun and you have people that want to just cause problems for whatever reason.
You need to tell them bring that little mini bike out here to Ohio, man. I don't even put it in the truck. I'm in the country, man. I'm gone on my ATVs for hours, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's awesome.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm 55 and I'm still a kid at heart.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're 55?
Yep.
Man, you're a youngin. You're a
Yeah, we're
youngin.
youngin.
You're a youngin.
Yeah. Dino, we're gonna go take them ATVs out, man. I got 2 of them.
Oh
Let's
boy.
go. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Chad, tell us who's been, and I'm not asking you to narrow it down to one because I know as a reviewer and now as a company owner how hard this question may be. But who's been some of the influences in your life as far as in the bearded community?
Good question.
Well, 2 of them like come off the, you know, without even a doubt. Lee from EDC Beard Co. Lee has been like in my corner since day one. But the thing about Lee is everybody can say he's an amazing guy. Every single person I know will say something great about Lee. And that says something about people. You know, when you can't find one person that says something bad about you, that says a lot. Dan from Bearded Death, he's been in my corner too since day one. He's been a big help for me. Those would be like the companies that have actually been big influences in my life as far as helping me become a business and grow into a business. Now, as far as like, influences in the bearded community, as far as, influencers, obviously, um, I watched a lot of your stuff, Tom, and a lot of, no offense to you, Tactical Santa. I never really knew you before until like this year.
Right.
And I don't know why, but I remember before even you, Tom, I remember watching Chief, and I just enjoyed watching his videos, just
Right.
kind of how, his personality. What's up, YouTube? Just
Right.
Chief out, and all these things. It's just like you watch it and you're like, okay, well, it's because what I like, and I'm sure you guys probably like this too. I like hearing reviews of companies, but I like hearing reviews of companies I've never heard of before. It's almost like it's you're finding gold, perhaps sometimes, that nobody knows about. And for me, um, Chief, the bearded squirrel, I still haven't even checked them out, but I want to. You know, I remember you talking about that company. I remember you talking about Gunfighter Beard Coat one time. All these companies that a lot of people may not have heard of. And that's I like that. I do. But obviously Dan C. Bearded, I think he's been one that everybody's has had some type of coloring of learning something along the way when you
Big time.
start. You know, but Greg Boswell, I've kind of seen him in the very beginning a lot too, and also Matt, Matt over there at No BS Beard
No
Review,
BS.
he's a great guy too. Um, so, and it seems like even Dave, recently. I started watching Dave's stuff before I even knew who Dave was, and I told him, I said, I've been catching some of your stuff, and he didn't know I watched his stuff. But it's nice to see different people's personalities and how they do it. Everybody's different of how they bring something, to the table. And I think it's great because, if we all had the same personalities, it would be boring. And I think it's the same thing with beard companies. If every beard company was the same beard company, then why would you even want to try other places out? Everybody has their own spin and uniqueness, and that's what's great about it,
Right.
So.
Do you remember the last bottle you finished of anybody's product?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Isn't it?
We go through them all the time.
Right.
Oh
When I
god.
finish one, it's like, oh my goodness, I finished a bottle of oil.
Yeah, I know one specifically, Artius Man. Artius Man has like the thickest castor oil on the
Thickest.
planet. But I
Thickest.
like that. I like that. If I need to reset my beard and I want it to be like really swollen and like fluffed, I use Artius Man. There's a scent that I love from Artius Man, and I've said it for the last 3 years since I started. It's Tinderbox. I love Tinderbox because it's got the tobacco pipe in it, and it just, when I first put it in my beard, it was hot outside. It was the summer when I got it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, dude, I really like this. It grew on me fast. And I've had like 3 bottles from that company of that since. And that's a lot for me because I go through a lot all the time.
Right.
So for me to go through 3 bottles of Artius Man, and I talk about this a lot. And I'll say this: I took a shower this morning. I used Artius Man conditioner. I thought, man, I love the conditioner, and I talk about the wash conditioner a lot from Artius Man, but it's legit. I'm not when I say it's one of my top, I'm not lying. Their conditioner, it sticks with you. It doesn't just come off. It really works. And so I think that they really have a good product. A lot of people can't get past the castor. A lot of people's beards are high porosity. Mine is low. Mine is a slow absorbing beard. It really is. It does not absorb real fast, And so I like the castor, and I always have. Another one would be Beard Octane. It would be Liquid Gold. I like. I went through 3 or 4 bottles of Liquid Gold. I have one that has barely anything in it, and I just haven't used it because I've been so busy using everybody else's. But if I didn't have a whole bunch, I would have killed through that bottle a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Artius Man, Midnight Ride, that black licorice scent. I love that one. And I baby it. I still have a little bit left of that. And Beard Octane has ginger jamboree. It's got 7-Up in it, ginger and something else. And it hits me just right, man. And I love that one. I put it in with the balm.
Did you say ginger jamboree?
Ginger jamboree.
You know that they discontinued that.
I've had it for a while.
But I'll say this, Chief. I agree. I love that ginger. It's almost like a carbonation feel.
Yeah, 7-Up.
But I will say that I discovered another company I knew the company, but I discovered a scent from them that smells a lot like it. Which
Really?
blew my
Do
mind.
tell.
And that is the Black Society from Mad Viking.
Really? I've never ordered from them.
It's crazy. I opened that thing up and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that smells a lot like Ginger Jamboree.
Did you say Black Label Society?
Black Label Society, I believe.
The band?
No, well, it's like a collab or something with that band, I think. Mad Viking. It's like the only one they have. It's in a black skull.
Okay.
And it is sweet. It's so good, man. Mad Viking's got a good product. They really do.
I never tried them, and I think we're all three of us are the same. You know, the bigger companies out there, they don't need our help.
Right.
You know, and they've got the bigger reviewers, the paid reviewers.
Right.
So I'll buy some stuff every once in a while from the bigger ones, but sure. I only talk about the smaller companies, the micro batch. You know, like yourself and pretty much everybody that's in here that's not paying reviewers.
Exactly.
I rock with those guys pretty hard because they're small like we are, and we support them as much as they support us.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I agree. I mean, that's why most of the time when you see any reviews, every now and then I'll talk about Lip Bearded. You know, if I have one that I like and I just share, but most time it's going to be the smaller stuff. You know, it's going to be like this right here that I'm about to be doing a review on. I don't know if you can see that, but the Hollow Beard and Body.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys ever heard of this one, but this is the Bearded Machinist.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You know, and it's just, I agree. I agree completely. Oh yeah, I can't forget this for Jacob.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I just did a review on that and released it this morning to the public. So in the beginning, I smelled it. I was like, this is interesting, but it really grew on me. I really enjoy it. I like unique scents.
Yeah. What about artwork? That because Jacob's JD blend there that you just showed, the art is impeccable. How important is art to you as a person before a reviewer? How important is it?
I think art is art's an amazing thing. The more artistic, the better. But you wouldn't say that probably about my labels. You'd say, well, you're not very artistic on your labels. Well,
but it's subdued and it's nice.
I do like the artwork. I think it's incredible. There's so many out there. Some of them are maybe overkill, like maybe too much distraction. But I like his labels a lot. I think they're really. I mean, even this Tobacco Noir. And I talked to Jim earlier. He said he's such a nice guy, awesome guy, and I said, man, you guys got a lot of good stuff going for you. And so, but yeah, I just, I when I first seen this, I thought, man, this is some cool artwork, honestly. Yeah. You don't see this a lot either. I mean, there's some ones out there that's got some cool artwork. But a lot of them, you don't see a whole lot. At least I haven't. I mean, maybe you guys have. There's a lot of them out there for sure. I know. I think that there's I'm trying to think what his name is. The bearded squirrel.
TJ.
TJ has a lot of artwork on his, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll custom. If you order a custom from it, it's all one-off decal for that bottle. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he lives like 2 minutes from me.
No kidding.
Yeah, we work together.
Wow, man.
Yeah, he's on one side of the 1 million square foot building, and I'm on the other, so we bump into each other maybe once a day.
Nice.
He's the reason I started reviewing, and I'm the reason he started making beard oil. Because I was buying Fable and Artius Man and all this stuff and bring it to work, and walked into HR one day because he worked in HR at a desk a long time ago, And he's like, "Hey, the beard's looking good." And I was like, "Yeah, yours too." And I was like, "What kind of product you use?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Product? What?" I was like, "I'll bring you something, man. I'll bring you something." And then he started down the rabbit hole buying beard oils and smell this at lunch, smell this. I got this in, smell this, and he's like, "You know what? I'm going to start making this stuff." And I told him a long time ago. I said, "I really want to start reviewing." So we pushed each other really, really hard.
Wow.
And he was coming to work for weeks and weeks and weeks. He's like, "Chief, smell this." And I'm like, "That smells good. That smells bad. Add some of this, take some of that." And I was brutally honest with him. And so he launched, and I launched not too far past that. And so he was kind of the guy that pushed me, and I was the guy that pushed him.
Yeah.
So, and we're both still doing it. So
that's awesome. Well, tell TJ I'm gonna get around to get some stuff from him soon. I just have so much that I've been trying to get through. So he's got a lot of stuff. That's for sure.
He does, and he's scaled down a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he used to have, I think at one time 100 cents on his page. It was
too much.
Lewis would like to know, Chad, is that a new shirt design for BHT?
So this shirt right here is one that you can buy off of YouTube on the store that they have on there, and they've got all kinds of beards, heads, and thread stuff. This is not one you're going to find on my website. And by the way, I think Tom, the link you put in there is for Etsy, but to get that 20% off, they need to go to bhtgrooming.com.
Okay, well, I will change that, and that is why my 20% off didn't work when I bought mine off of Etsy.
Oh, no.
But that's okay. No, that's okay. I don't mind. I love supporting small businesses, so 100%. Okay, well, let me change that. So could you tell me that one more time?
Yeah, it's in the chat, bhtgrooming.com.
Okay.
It's set for, I'll just go the rest of the night. I said for the show, but I'll just go the rest of the night. If you... and that's good also for if you spend 65 or more, you get free shipping too. So
nice.
But that's not on the apparel. The only reason I can't do that is because it's a third party.
Right.
So if not, I would definitely do that. But
so I'm glad you clarified that, because I thought it was Etsy too, but you do have a website also.
Yeah, and who knows? I may end up getting. I was being pushed by Dan to do the Shopify website, and I was getting pushed by Lee to do the Etsy. And so from what I understood, Etsy is kind of like an Amazon. It's like, people come through and they'll discover your company. Shopify, it's not. It's just a standalone website. You have to get it pushed. You'll have to talk about it, all this stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do the Etsy and I'll just do the Shopify too at the same time and put them both out there. Maybe it's overkill. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up not doing the Etsy. I don't know. I feel like I like the Shopify because it seems like it's so much easier for me to navigate my own stuff. Like I can put discounts there when I want to. It sends emails when I wanted to animate and send an email out with like a deal going on. But again, a lot of people, I think the Elegant Sasquatch is on Etsy too.
Yep.
And he does pretty well. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just overkill having both. I don't know. But I do like having the website, bhtgrooming.com. I could link it where if I didn't have the Shopify and people type in bhtgrooming.com, it would take them to the Etsy. But I have it set to go to the website. And I like Shopify. I think it's really good. It helps me. And my whole deal is, when somebody orders, it does have like a lead time, 1 to 3 days, but I want to ship it out the same day. So I try to get my stuff shipped out as fast as possible as soon as somebody buys something. And so I have just, the beard butter, I like to have it sit a day or two to harden, solidify. So I try to make those up, a little batch of them. So, but the beard oils, I do have some batches made, but they're not going to sit there for, weeks and not be sold or used. So, but I think it's important to get your stuff shipped out fast.
Right. For sure. I agree. Yep. So yeah, you think it's time, Chief, for the question?
100%.
All right. So I kind of got to do a two-part with Chad because he's a guitarist. So the first part of this would be is who is your favorite guitarist ever? Would be the first part, and the second part would be if you could see any entertainer, celebrity, band, anybody, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Favorite guitarist, man. Thinking here. There's just so many. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, give me 1 second.
Hmm?
There's just so many. I mean, give me 1 second. Can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what I did, but I kicked something and my computer went off and I started having this feedback. I'm glad I'm on my phone, by the way. Screw my cameras and stuff because they screw up all the time. I was kind of trying to watch the chat too. I do have it here, but it's so small. So I would say my favorite guitarist, man. I don't know. I think that my son and I, we've been watching a lot of Slash.
Yeah.
Like Sweet Child of Mine, just because my son's really getting into lead guitar, and so he's been watching him. I think Slash is pretty good. I don't think he's the best guitar player, but it'd be interesting to watch him play. You know, my favorite or somebody that I would like to see entertainer, if they're dead or alive.
Prince.
No, not for me. Not for me.
It's for me.
Man, that's
Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's a good one.
Yeah, he would have been a good one. It would be Elvis Presley. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm trying to think. You know, I think it would be interesting to see Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, before he died. You know,
Right.
I think he kind of had his own style of guitar playing. Kind of entered into a new era of guitar playing. You know, the whole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be kind of cool just to watch him. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have an Alexa?
Do I have an Alexa?
Yeah.
I don't. My kids do in their rooms. I don't have one.
So I was going to ask you, what do you ask her to play you when? Because I've got one upstairs and I got one in the bathroom, so we can have music on when we're cleaning up and stuff. And I was going to ask you what you would ask her to play more frequently than others. Randy Rhoads. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, it would be. It's just that's the thing. It's hard for me. Like I go through so much music. Sometimes it's probably going to be crazy for some people to hear this, but sometimes I like to hear country music.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to hear rock music, and sometimes I just listen to worship music. I know that's like a big extreme, but it just depends. Like if I'm mowing the lawn and I think of a song, I'll just start playing a certain type of music. So I don't. It's tough. It just depends on the mood I'm in. My mood changes so much. It's not like I'm. Some person may be in the chat and be like, you know what? Every time I'm just going to throw rock on because that's just who I am. I rock it all the way, but it's just not who I am. I change every day from day to day what I like.
I totally get that, man. Because I'll go in and I'll say, hey, play some Duran Duran.
Right.
Play Prince. Play Eric
Milli
Badu.
Vanilli? No, I'm kidding.
Play you know what? I didn't even like them when they were out, man.
That's funny.
Play some Erica Badu. Whatever mood you're in.
Right.
Some New Breed.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. Yeah. So big music fan. I like it all.
And I think if you want to be a really good musician, you need to be rounded with several
Right.
different things, classical, rock. I mean, where you
Yeah.
pick it up, pick up anything you want to.
Yep.
Right.
Ingwe Malstein. Yes. Yes. Good choice, man. Good choice.
Hey,
Yep.
right.
Man.
Well, guys, as we go ahead, Chief. I'm sorry.
As we say, chat coming in clutch right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, guys, as we start winding stuff down, Chief, why don't you ask your final thoughts or your final questions for Chad?
No more questions, I don't think. But man, it's been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more than the Monjoro, the YouTube reviewer. It just find out a little bit more about you as a person. I enjoy that. Appreciate you coming on, spending time with us. I appreciate everybody in the chat as always. We couldn't have a show without you guys. And my two brothers, man, you always make it fun. And I just appreciate your time. Time is very valuable to everybody. And thank you.
Right.
Dino.
I just want to say thank you for coming on. We do have some stuff that we do together. So I'm currently on Monjero.
Awesome.
I am a type 2 diabetic, and like you, my A1C was at a 14.
Oh, wow. That's higher than mine was.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's high.
So yeah, and I didn't even know it. I was walking around and had no idea that it was high.
Ticking time bomb.
Right,
Wow.
right. But yeah, I'd love to talk to you sometime about your
Yeah.
Monjero experience and your experience with being diabetic, because it
Yeah,
is,
sure.
it's a whole life-changing thing, right?
Mhm.
Like you, I used to weigh 320 pounds.
Wow.
So I'm down to about 230. So yeah,
You look good, man. You look good.
thank you. But thank you for coming on. I'm really glad that I got to meet you and talk to you on this live. I've seen your stuff. I watch your stuff. It is really cool hanging out with you and getting to know you. And
Sure.
I think it'll be cool to see your kids, like if your son starts doing beer reviews.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool to see like what his style would be.
Yeah.
He does, so that's really cool.
I might end up making a video and having him kind of run it. I just sit there with
That
him
would
and see what he has to say.
Get him a fake beard.
Yeah.
Huh? Give him
Yeah,
a
get him a
fake
fake beard, yeah.
That would be funny.
Right.
It's funny. He's like, Dad, look at this. I'm growing a mustache. And he's got little fellas here, like real peach fuzz to the side. I'm like, dude, you're off to a good start.
It'd be hilarious if you ask him questions and he was like, listen, when I was just flip the table on you
Yeah,
and
just-
just
Right.
be the
That
reviewer
would be
and how
funny.
to.
That would be
Oh, my
awesome.
God. Yeah.
And
You're
the
giving me good ideas.
only last thing I have to say is in honor of my birthday tomorrow, Hemp Wizard is dropping Tactical Santa. So don't miss out on this drop.
Awesome.
It is fantastic. I'll be 51 years young tomorrow. So definitely check this out. You won't be disappointed.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, man.
Absolutely. I was just getting ready to mention that. And
Yep.
before we ask Chad his final thoughts, make sure Melissa is on right now. So make sure you check Melissa Copperjohns out right after this show. And also the Beard of Respect has Bob and Terry with special guest Baker on tonight. So you guys make sure you check those out. Chad, I would also like to say too, my wife and I are also on Monjaro. This is a Monjaro
Wow.
family here tonight. And
Wow.
we actually started by watching when you were talking about it. I went and asked my wife, have you ever heard about this Monjaro? Because I myself, without, I'm going to throw myself under the bus, was at 370 pounds.
Yeah.
I am now just under 300 pounds. So I still got
Congrats.
a little ways to go. But Santa can't lose weight too fast because I
That's
still
true.
got to keep a little fluff. And I'm not really looking forward to putting a pillow in my suit. But anyway, we'll go there at a different time. But man, it is such a pleasure, such an honor. It's been so neat watching your growth in just so many ways as a reviewer, as a product reviewer, as now a business owner. I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope you're in it for the long haul. I hope you stick with it. Any closing final words that you would like to put out there for the folks that's joined us tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for bringing me on as a guest. I'm honored. The Trace Amigos, man, you guys are the three amigos that everybody just wants to get on your show. So watching that movie, Three Amigos, I want to know who's who. Can you guys ever get like maybe together a video where you guys get the suits, and the hats,
my
bro?
goodness.
You kind of do the whole to the right, to the left deal.
You're on to something.
I remember that show, but I do want to say, I've been wondering, Tom, why your beard's looking so much bigger and thicker, but I think your face is shrinking.
All right. Right. And I'm gonna tell you, it's something, I hate saying that something's a lifesaver, but it really has been big help in our lives. So,
well, you're looking good, brother. And just know that some people, with the way their body is and the chemistry of their body and there's some people that it's almost like genetically almost impossible to lose weight. For people that are like really obese, it's kind of sad and depressing for some people because, they feel stuck. And to have a GLP-1 drug that can actually tell your brain to do what your brain's supposed to do, because there's like a breakdown from when you were younger and your metabolism did what it's supposed to do, and then it breaks down and goes, well, I don't understand how to do that. Well, your brain tells it to do what it's supposed to do on a GLP-1 like that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys. Again, running 20% off of everything on bhtgrooming.com. I haven't messed with the Etsy, so sorry. I really don't do if somebody buys something on Etsy, I'll take care of that. But I really spend most of my time on the actual website.
right.
What I'll do, Tom, is I'll throw in some extra goodies in there for you.
You ain't gotta worry about that, brother.
No, it's all right. I don't have to do anything. I want to.
Right.
And so, but I'm going to run that special for the rest of the night till midnight, and then you spend $65 more, you get free shipping. So if you want to check out BHT grooming stuff, this is a time to save a lot of money. I'll have it shipped out hopefully by tomorrow. And I'm there for you if you guys need anything. And you guys keep being you, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. You're rocking it. And man, I just cannot believe how great beards you guys have. It's incredible. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Anna.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in chat. And guys, I have so much respect for these two guys and so much respect for you, Chad. And guys, we're able to have beards like this and keep them healthy because of product owners like you and the people in the chat and just good advice and just the wisdom, the vast knowledge of wisdom that's out there in the bearded community. So guys, again, we thank you. Make sure you jump on over there to see Melissa Copper-Johns, support her and support the Bearded Respect tonight. Until next Thursday, guys, we have Raven Beard Co. on, so make sure you join in for that. I'm excited for that one. But until next time, guys, remember that this world could use a little kindness. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year round. Appreciate each and every one of you. Can you hit that lick, man?